make this presentation formal. From the Alabama Baptist Historical Commission, this says, an entity of the Alabama Baptist State Convention commends Orange Baptist Church of Franklin Baptist Association on the church's 125th anniversary on this day, October 17, 2021. Brother Corey, congratulations.
Brother Larry?
I don't know if Annette did not know you were coming or not, but she brought us the plaque for our annual meeting. And so I appreciate it. And this here brother and I have been in a few places together over the last several years as churches celebrate those. As we looked in the bulletin, you noticed one of the things was about foot washing. If I'd have thought about that, Brother Corey, I guess those foot washing pans are somewhere around here.
I'm sure they are.
Because we brought them to you. Back many years ago, I guess, when the church stopped foot washing, as it said in the 50s, those 4 pans, and they're still in, just like you, excellent shape, just like you'd purchased them, porcelain pans. Fletcher Chisholm wound up with those, and when he and Miss Castle died, somehow or another they wound up at Aunt Ramey and Odin's, and then Joey had them, and when Joey died, Sherry brought them to us, his wife. And so now they're here somewhere in this building. I'm not sure exactly where, but I wish I'd thought and hooked them up. We could have had one of them up here.
Foot washing.
Yeah, fix that. We probably weren't gonna do foot washing, but yeah, things have changed a lot, even in my lifetime. My dad told the story many times about his first coming to this community. Of course, he didn't grow up here. My mother did, and has lots and lots of family in this community and in the cemetery too. But he told about catching a train from Haleyville. By the way, brother, most of the folks here probably went to Haleyville rather than Field Campbell because the roads were atrocious, even in those days. But Daddy caught the train. My grandpa bought the place out there where we live now, and he had never been there, bought it while he was in the Army during World War II. He hired a taxi cab to bring him from Haleyville to Posey Mill, next community over. He said he pushed him most of the way, and finally got to a hill he couldn't push him over, so he paid him and sent him back to Haleyville and wondered how he ever got back laying by pushing him. The roads were terrible. But one thing that I've learned, being a little bit of a history buff, roads were quite different, not only in their upkeep and maintenance, but they didn't go, the main roads didn't necessarily go where the main roads are today. There's a little place up here where the Olivers lived called Carroll's Crossroads, and if you drive through there, you wonder why in the world it's a crossroads, because it's just a T. Well, there's a dirt road that goes down to where Earl Oden lived and beyond and on up through the country. That was part of the main road from Russell to Double Springs, and it came out by the old Robinson Place. Some of you don't know where that's at, but it's off the main road here, not the White House that they lived in. Came right across here in front of Orange, went over here to Uncle Gold's, and went through the forest down to Double Springs. Forest didn't exist, so there was a lot of folks that lived over there. But anyway, this church means a lot to me, and definitely, I've not been here 125 years. Sometimes I feel like it, but yes, a lot of folks been one of the Lord, not only here at Orange Baptist Church, but I've pastored for a lot of years. There have been other pastors that have come out of this church that pastored. Brother Gibson's buried on the far end of the cemetery out there, and he pastored for many, many years, and no doubt won many people to the Lord. And by the way, the original location of this church was not here. If I understand correctly from the 100th anniversary recording of the history, the original building was down about where the Author place is, where James Author lived, down about in there somewhere, and they actually gave that building to a widow, and then moved up here and built a building, the old building up here that had the Oddfellows Hall at the top of it. So Brother Corey, come up here, and this is just simply a very simple certificate, but it states the fact that Franklin Baptist Association also recognizes